Hey there, welcome back. Okay, so you guys remember we talked about how the conventional loan fees were going to go up for some borrowers and down for others, and the way they had the pricing, it just really didn't seem very fair. Okay, well, the Biden appointed head of the federal agency that is in charge of that pricing, the Federal Housing Finance Agency, announced that it would rescind one of those controversial fees. The fee that is getting the axe is for conventional borrowers with debt to income levels at or above 40%. Hang tight, I'm gonna explain all of that. But you guys, this is really a good thing. What does it all mean? In January of 2023, the FHFA announced a series of changes to their fees with a revamped pricing matrix with a total of 81 grids for mortgage loans that many felt unfairly increased fees for people with good credit and a larger down payment. These changes prompted pushback from many trade groups in the industry, including the National Association of Realtors and the Mortgage Bankers Association, two of the largest trade groups in the country, who pointed out that these changes would hurt middle wealth home buyers and increase overall pricing. In other words, make it harder for the middle class to get that American dream of home ownership.
This is the American dream.
Okay, so the rule that was set to go into effect May 1st, it was then pushed out to August 1st, 2023, because of this industry clamor, would mean that regardless of whether a borrower has good credit, if their debt to income ratios were over 40%, they were going to be charged an extra fee.
Remember, I told you there'd be an extra charge.
What is a debt to income ratio? Okay. There's two ratios that lenders look at when qualifying borrowers for a loan. The first one is called the front end ratio, and it's the relationship between what you make, your income, and your mortgage loan debt only. The second one is called the back end ratio, and is the relationship between your income and your total debt load, including your new mortgage, car payments, credit cards, student loans, essentially all of the borrower's total debt. So what this new rule would have required is an extra upfront fee for people with a total debt ratio or back end ratio of over 40%. Even if the borrower proved that they are managing their finances by having a good credit score. The FHFA was saying taking out a loan for your home was now going to be more expensive.
Not better, just more expensive.
Which is obviously counterintuitive to what their stated mission is, which is to support borrowers and make homeownership more accessible. I get really fired up about this stuff, you guys. Okay, this specific fee increase has now been completely rescinded. The Mortgage Bankers Association said, and I quote, "The proposed fee was unworkable, and we are pleased that FHFA engaged with industry stakeholders and recognized the negative impacts of the fee and decided to rescind its implementation." Booyah! The Mortgage Bankers Association urges FHFA to continue its engagement to improve clarity and transparency regarding the pricing framework. The National Association of Realtors, America's largest trade organization to which I belong, was quoted thus: "It would have imposed a cost on borrowers at a time in the market when affordability is already stretched. Borrowers who have proven adept at managing their obligations do not pose additional risk due to a few points on a debt to income ratio. In fact, many will save money by becoming homeowners in areas where rents are high. The debt to income based fees would have been confusing to borrowers and extremely difficult for lenders to implement." Close quote. So remember, this only affects borrowers who are getting a conventional loan, a Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac product, not an FHA loan, and only those whose debt to income is greater than 40%. Still, we're counting this as a win. And give a shout out to the industry advocates who put enough pressure on the Federal Housing Finance Agency to refocus and look at making home ownership a little bit more attainable for some folks. Let me know if you have questions. That was a lot of information. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. We'll see you next time.